She still can't even stand.
She's so wobbly.
Sean Whaley is furious.
She's upset. But 100%.
Oh, welcome in everyone to Axe Kick Picks episode 62. Today is September the 22nd, 2023. As always, I'm your host, D-Rock. Joining me from the golf capital of the world down in sunny South Carolina, Joey D. Joey, how are you, sir?
Doing great, my man. Fantastic day. I hope you're doing well up there.
Oh yeah, we got the storm steadily approaching though, so we're good today. Weekend gonna be a lot of rain, but yeah, we got a great episode for you this week. Little one championship recap. Noche UFC. We'll talk about judging. We'll talk about the main event. We got UFC Vegas 79 first fight night back in the Apex in over a month. I never thought I'd say that, but we're back in the Apex. We got the Bellator card as well towards the end, and some banger fights announced. But Joe, real quick, your boy Chris, how do you pronounce his last name?
Yeah.
Camozzi, your boy shouted you out. How was that?
Yeah, fellow Guinea right there, my man. Dude, just had to respect it. He got a long career. He's one of the most savage people out there, and he's gonna come to fight, man. Lorenzo Hunt's no joke. I think these guys are gonna put on a spectacle. You know, I had to put a play out for Chris Camozzi tonight, 9 o'clock. It starts. Give me Chris Camozzi plus 185. Early dog for us on this show today.
How is he the dog?
Man, Lorenzo Hunt's got a 10-1 bare knuckle record, but you know, Camozzi's a kickboxing champ. This dude's seen it all. He's got a long resume, so this is going to be nothing new for him. He's going to be ready to fight. Like I said, the same will be for Lorenzo Hunt. I think we're going to be in for a treat tonight.
We also had one championship this morning or going on today. How did you do on that card?
Hey, man, I honestly, I normally go and have plays for the entire card, but this main event for this morning was a spectacle. I had to just put a play out for it. It was a main event for the ages that will go down in history. It was between Rodtang and Superlek. And, the controversy that occurred was Superlek missed weight by 5 pounds. So they had to cancel his chance for winning the belt. Turned from a 5-round title fight to a 3-round, just regular Muay Thai rules fight. And Superlek surprised everyone. He dropped Rodtang in the second round and wound up winning on the judges' scorecard. So he would have been the new flyweight champion. But unfortunately, with the weight miss, he did not become eligible. And Rodtang retains, but he wound up losing on the judges' scorecard. It was a back-and-forth fight. Rodtang cut him early, dumped him like 3 or 4 times. And like I said, the difference was the drop that Superlek had on Rodtang in the second. And I said it, he should have won that fight. And good thing the judging in one has been pretty spot on. They got it right.
Now, 2 questions. One, is it the same like UFC where they take 30% of your purse if you miss weight?
I don't know. Maybe the punishment alone was his inability to fight for the title. That might have been
and was the weight loss significant? Meaning
5 pounds.
Not
accepted.
Yeah. Wow.
So that's what it came down to. Is whether or not he was going to accept it. He wound up accepting it. It was a great fight, one that would be remembered for a long time.
Yeah, 100%. Nothing like Shemaev when he missed pounds by 9 pounds. That was ridiculous. But Joe, let's get into it. It's a great segue into Noche UFC because we'll start in the main event. Alexa Grasso taking on Valentina Shevchenko. Split decision draw thanks to Mike Bell. I want to start with the fight first. Very, very technical fight. Back and forth. I thought first round definitely went to Valentina. She came out hot, aggressive. Her jab was working perfectly. Then Alexa came out, stunned her, knocked her down in the second round. And I go, holy shit. We
got to fight.
We got to fucking fight now. So boom, boom, 1-1. Then she makes it just in the third and fourth round. Valentina, I thought she won. That's how I scored it. I scored rounds 1, 3, and 4 to Valentina in real time and watching it back. And then the fifth, right. The first 3 minutes, Valentina was winning until she made another same mistake. But, I thought the fight was very technical. You knew it was going to be a split decision. But overall, we'll talk about the judging in a second, but as like technical, I thought it was one of the most technical women fights I've seen in a very long time. What'd you think?
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the highest you can get, to be honest. And we're lucky that we got it on a free fight night, you know? Yeah, I was pleasantly surprised by both performers. You know, Valentina Shevchenko, she's going to go down in the Hall of Fame. And Alexa Grasso, the way she's going, and very well after all this, looks like they may get a third one. She could go down in the Hall of Fame too if she keeps this rolling. So, not a lot of precedent for this division. It's really been Valentina Shevchenko as champ and nobody else. So, that's why I mean what I say about Alexa Grasso being right there now. You know, I think that's a defense. I think that counts as a defense. You know, I was questioning whether or not it did because we've seen a couple draws before. I think most significantly, like the Tyron Woodley, Stephen Wonderboy fights. Pretty sure those two were draws, and we were questioning whether or not they were defended, but I guess those are defenses. So, yeah, in terms of technicality, some of the highest of the order, and it was a good fight. But yeah, you can't mark that fifth round the way you did. You know, we have to get into it.
I thought both fighters made real adjustments from the first fight. I thought the striking was a little better and a little more crisper from Valentina. You could feel and let's not forget she broke her thumb or her pinky in the first round. So she fought essentially the whole fight with a broken left pinky. And I also thought on the other side, Alexa Grasso made huge adjustments on the takedown defense. Yeah, there was a nice couple double legs where Valentina got in there very
were not
cleanly.
Working for Valentina.
No, the inside trips were not working. So I thought both fighters made extremely vast changes in their game plan. And I just thought you have to run it back, especially how they graded the 10-8 in the fifth round. So let's get into it. Mike Bell scored it a 10-8. I mean, I want to start with the 3 Ds, you know, damage, duration, and dominance, because that's how you really score a 10-8. And I don't even think in the fifth round you could even categorize any D in there. So I don't even understand how it's a 10-8. It's indefensible. To be honest, I think he was sitting there like, oh shit, I gave her 3 rounds already. It seemed like a makeup call in other sports, Joe. That's what it seemed to me. It's just so inconsistent. We saw earlier in the night, Mike Bell gave all 3 rounds a 10-8 in one of the preliminary fights as well. I like that it's being more liberal, but in a title fight that was so technical, so evenly matched, I'm just like lost the words. I honestly don't know. Like, what did you score in real time? And I guess what are your thoughts on the 10-8?
Yeah, that 10-8 round was unacceptable. And I think it's actually caused the MMA world to have an uproar. And Dana White has called that seminar for all of them to go and relearn how to score a 10-8 round. You know, this hasn't been before. Maybe it was necessary and needed a long time ago. But, you know, I actually think there needs to be a complete overhaul in the judging criteria for mixed martial arts. But, yeah, if you ask me specifically about the fifth round, how did I score it, I think Alexa Grasso did win the round, but that was not, you know, a 10-8 round. And on top of it, the round that I saw that was the closest was the round prior, where it could have been a draw. I actually scored it a 10-10. I scored round 4. That's where the draws that I agreed with came into play. Because I had the first round go to Shevchenko, second round when she got dropped went to Grasso, back to Shevchenko, and then in the fourth round was my draw, and then we had a Grasso. So that's 2-2, and then a one round even. So that's where I got a draw. I actually agreed with the decision, but all 3 judges were on different ends of the spectrum.
Now, I'm glad you brought up round 4 because I went back. I thought round 4 I thought round 5 was very close as well. It's just an excuse why I rewatched round 4 because I thought that was the closest. Even round 3 was kind of close too, but you know, I don't know. I think she landed a little, Valentina, that is. I think she landed a little more with her jab, that elbow. She caused the cut. That's damage. You know what I mean? And the hard combination she threw late in the round. Grasso had big knees. Don't get me wrong. That takedown, it was close. I just think the damage, you saw the damage on Alexa Grasso a lot more than you did on Valentina. So that's why I gave it a 10-9 in round 4. But I agree with you. Round 5 was a 10-9 clearly to Alexa Grasso. So I
very
don't
generous
know.
with the 10-8 because Valentina had her moment in that round as well.
And
but for the duration, as we talked about, she was in control, Alexa Grasso.
And you bring up Dana White, and I never really agree with him, but I thought he was 100% correct. That's just unacceptable in the sport. I don't know what he was looking at, and he was like, "This guy shouldn't even ref it." Like it was that bad. But
do you think he gets another chance? We're going to see Mike Bell again judging.
Yeah, 100%. And that's the thing that I don't understand. Mike Bell isn't this guy that we've heard this before. You've been watching the UFC your whole life. I've been watching it for 4 years now. And this is kind of the first incident of Mike Bell in a bad scorecard. So it's not like he's a bad judge to begin with. So I'm glad that the Nevada State Athletic Commission, they had to sit down to actually explain to all the people and some people of the media how to rule a 10-8 round and basically to score it. Aaron Bronstetter, he went to the meeting, he put notes out. So if you want to go to his Twitter and actually read verbatim what the Nevada State Athletic Commission, you could go to his Twitter or X, whatever you call it, at Aaron Bronstetter with 2 A's. He does a really good job explaining it, but it just comes down to the 3 Ds. Like I was explaining, Joe, it's, damage, duration, and dominance. She wasn't dominant. She didn't do it duration for the most of the round, and there was no real damage. Honestly, the knockdown in round 2, I could actually understand scoring it for a 10-8. And when she tried to have that choke in, it really wasn't deep. But if you're going to score that at 10-8, where was Valentina's 10-8? In round 3, it's the inconsistency, Joe. So what are your thoughts on so you say moving forward, what long-term change now? Are you in favor of half a points? Like how can we get better?
Yeah, I mean, one proposes a system where it's judged on the entirety of the fight, not round basis. So there's that. Different scoring points. There's that. But to be honest, the whole Mike Bell situation, it seems that you either die a hero or live long enough to become a villain, because it seems that everyone in the mixed martial arts world has had something bad happen to them. It sticks out and we remember it. I mean, even the president with Dana White. So, Chris Lee, Sal D'Amato, these are the guys you've heard before have controversial scorecards, and then you've seen referees have issues as well. So, that goes to the quote that I just said there prior. It's a tough situation for all, but I think Dana White is trying to address it now. I don't think he has all the answers himself. Maybe we can get an organization, a body that holds referees. I know there's already the commissions, but maybe a unified one that can hold them accountable, where they have a head and they're in communication. I think most referees and most organizations have that. Now, I don't know, correct me if I'm wrong, if that already exists. I think it does within, like I said, in commissions, but not a unified one.
Yeah, for what I know, there's no one body. I know each state represents and has their own commission. So I feel like the only people that could actually affect and make change, Dana White, Hunter Campbell, Sean, like those guys up at the top, we cannot. And my also problem is, I think I said it a few cards ago, why aren't these guys held accountable? Chris Tyongi, a referee, he messed up on a preliminary round, but he was accountable. He said, hey, I fucked up. That's on me. And refs and judges, I think this is all going to tie. They need to know what a submission is. They need to be put in. I thought Dominic Cruz was amazing at the desk. And you know me, I like to nitpick Dom Cruz, but I thought he was amazing. And he was very adamant in saying these refs don't even know what it looks like. So Chris Tyongi, just because his arm he could actually play dumb and just say that he's unconscious, when in reality,
I don't advise that strategy, but yes.
But that's a possibility. I wouldn't put it past these fighters to do that. So, but at least he came out and said, hey, I fucked up. He had a conversation with both fighters and it got overturned quickly. My thing is, Mike Bell, you, and the world will never hear from Mike Bell. That is the problem.
We'll just see him next time he's out judging.
But that's the problem. Why can't you and me, we have to answer for our sins, correct? Everyone does. Dana White did when he had his mishap. Slip-ups in the commentary, when they mess up, they take the front and address it. Why doesn't these judges? I just don't understand it, because if we continue to let these guys off the hook, like you said, we're just going to see them next week or in the next pay-per-view. And it's not, and people are like, oh, well, you're so adamant about it. These are affecting people's livelihoods. If you don't score to 10-8, we have a new champion.
Man, I feel like we've been talking about this for a while, ever since we started this, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's some level of anonymity to them where we don't even know what they look like. And I like the idea of having an interview, a post-fight judge interview, and just asking, like, what did you see in that fight? You know, maybe, you know, just to make all things fair, maybe throw the referee as well one, you know, just to see different aspects. You got the agony of defeat in one, you got the thrill of victory, you got the referee as an unbiased perspective, and then you got the judge who had to make a decision. I think these are perspectives that could be interviewable. You know, Joe Rogan would probably be a great advocate for something like this.
I even heard the you know, people coming out there like your suggestion, we need change. I've heard the half points thrown out there, but sometimes change can make it a little more confusing. Sometimes it's already confusing as it is. Now you want to put more on these judges. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like a double-edged sword where we're damned if we do it and we're damned if we don't. But you know, I feel for Valentina Shevchenko because I do think she got enough to get the job done. She will have surgery next week. She's going to be out around 2 to 3 months, but you heard it after the fight. Dana White has to run it back. I mean, it was a draw. I mean, you have to run it back. It's going to hold up the division a little bit. I think.
We kind of called it.
Yeah, Manel Fiore is going to obviously fight Aaron Blanchfield, but
that's next.
Are you okay with running the trilogy? I know you and I really don't like holding up the division and sometimes the trilogy, but I think in this case you have to.
Yeah, it has to happen. And you very well may get a case of what we got with Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo, honestly. And we've seen it in other organizations where guys have fought 4+ times. So,
yeah,
you know, there's precedent for this. And if Valentina gets a W next time, gets the belt back, we got a 4th fight, guys.
Yeah, got a 4th fight. Should be very interesting. But by law and a draw in a title match, the champion does retain. So, and still Alexa Grasso. It's not a loss, though. It's a push. We don't lose. Our money was returned to us. So I guess trying to spin it into a positive, it's a push, Joe. We didn't lose that bet. Let's go to the co-main event. JDM, 3-man Jack.
Giacomo.
You know, split decision win. A little biased with my green goggles on. I did score it for Kevin Holland. 30-27 I disagree with. I thought it was 29-28. Either side, I don't have an issue. 30-27 I have an issue with. But I thought Kevin Holland didn't look, you know, he looked good, but he didn't lead the dance a lot. JDM was actually leading the dance. His hands looked a little more crisper.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I just thought JDM looked a little more crisper, and you didn't really see the talking from Kevin Holland. What'd you think of this fight?
Surprising. I think that kind of like messed with him, you know. And we came out prior episode. We're saying that, you know, he was using him, saying he doesn't want to get to the gold. You know, it's like maybe a defense mechanism for his own psyche. But now I'm a little worried. You know, the performance wasn't all that good, and like you said, though you could have scored it in his favor, I really don't think he was in control of the fight at all. I think it got away from him, and that's why you can see JDM coming out, you know, victorious. For Kevin Holland, I don't know where he goes from here. It was a good performance. I don't think it was it was a little lackluster, but I just don't think it was a bad one. So stock doesn't really go any further. But for Giacomo, I love calling him that. Jack Della Maddalena, he's on his way up, and he I don't know, man. What do you think? Is he one more fight away now? How that welterweight division is moving, or because honestly, you could have made a case if Kevin Holland did something spectacular, he might have been one fight away. All the noise that he made in middleweight, and now
that's the thing. Kevin Holland has actually been in there with some killers. He's taken more fights. JDM, this is his first top 15 fight.
Absolutely.
You know, he did get the win. He moves up 2 spots to 2. A lot of people disagree with me because you're killing off 2 young guys, but him and Ian Machado Gary would be fucking fireworks in my opinion. Number 11 versus number 12.
You don't think it's a little early?
That's the counterpoint. I agree. I think you'd be killing off 2 young stars. I do think eventually they will meet up, but not right now. So I don't know. Kevin Holland did call out Neil Magny, still 13 versus 14. I like that fight for Kevin Holland. I mean, Holland's he's a maniac. He's going to fight anyone. But
That's a
I, I,
really
don't,
fun.
I don't really know what's next for JDM because Sean Brady came out on an interview at the Anakin Florian podcast and he said, listen, me and Vicente Luque are ready to square off. So you got number 9 versus number 10. You got Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. I don't want to get too ahead of myself, but he just accepted a fight against Shakrok Rakhmonov for UFC 296 in December. So I really don't know. JDM, you don't want to give a 2-leap and go like Gilbert Burns, maybe a Jeff Neal. I really don't know in that welterweight division.
He's fought a lot this year as well, so maybe he actually just doesn't get a fight till next year.
Yeah.
See how things wait out. Unfortunately, the UFC probably talked to him and say, just got to wait it out right now. Stay training, stay in shape. You may get a call for a last minute replacement. So that might be his game until come January, come 2024.
Yeah, I agree. I think maybe just take the rest of the year off, come back fresh January, February. I do hear it might go back to Canada, Toronto, or London card. So should be interesting. But yeah, good win for JDM in the co-main event. Raul Rojas Jr., baby, 54 seconds. He takes care of.
I read that wrong.
Me too. I thought that was one of my losses. Fight to start round 2. It didn't even get to the second minute.
Oh man, the fear is that people are saying that he's like a 1-minute sprinter kind of deal. They've seen it before. I don't necessarily see that. I just think he was trying to prove a point. He was trying to get over his previous performance, and honestly, Terrence Mitchell might have been a perfect fight for him because I hate to say the dude's kind of a can. Yeah, he literally got touched. I wonder if that's exactly what happened when he fought Kai Kara France. After he fought the other time, the guy losing in first round in 30 seconds, it doesn't look good.
Yeah, no, I mean, 54 seconds to get the win for Rojas Jr. I thought it was a good win. He got the performance of the night.
They need to treat, if I could interject for a quick second, they need to treat him how the Bellator, is it Bellator? I think, is it PFL? It's the PFL that has Biagio Ali Walsh, right? It's the PFL that has Biagio Ali Walsh. I feel like the UFC should treat Raul Rosas Jr. at his age just like Biagio Ali Walsh, Muhammad Ali's grandson. Because, it's not that he's an amateur now, but I just feel like you honestly keep feeding this kid. They need to learn their lesson when they had a young superstar back in the day by the name of Sage Northcutt. They blew that. So I just hope that they make the correct decisions for this kid's career. Because, I mean, the kid could be a superstar and he could be a champion, but he's only 18. He has a long way to go.
Long way to go. 18, though, but to show that poise, that confidence, even the answers in his interviews and post-fight, he's so, even keel. I actually really respect that because you don't really see 18-year-olds act like that. It just shows me he was raised by really good parents, I think. And, he did graduate high school a few months ago. He said, you know what? I'm going to actually take a break of school. I'm going to focus all of my time on fighting. So
I know he bought his mom the minivan. So he is a good kid.
And he was on the MMA Hour this week. He goes, I'm studying to take my driving lesson. It's so crazy. He's out there destroying people, and he's just like a normal kid. I love it. But big win for Raul Rojas Jr. getting back into the win column.
Another young superstar, bro.
Yeah. Daniel Zellerberg, performance of the night. He gets a submission win in round 2, 3 minutes and 26 seconds. And what did you think of that submission?
Man, surprising, dude. He kind of could have done whatever he wanted in there. Chris Giago's not a tough out at all. And he had that mount position and just raining down strikes. I think Daniel Zahuber is a real deal. I like his nickname as well. I think it's like the Golden Boy, right? Yeah. It's like kind of a runoff like Oscar De La Hoya. Let me get it exactly here. But yeah, I like everything about the kid. Yeah, Golden Boy. So I mean, Golden Boy MMA, baby, not boxing. I like Daniel Zahuber a lot.
And then the first fight, very shocking. A lot of people had it for the Mexican for Fernando, but I honestly did think the Canadian Kyle Nelson won, to be honest.
Yes, he did. Yeah,
so
Kyle Nelson won that fight. Yeah. He was in control the entire fight, as we talked about before. I didn't really feel like he was feeling Fernando Padilla's punches, honestly.
At all. That was the problem.
Respecting him, yeah, absolutely. I don't know why people would have saw Padilla winning that fight. Kyle Nelson, it wasn't a robbery. It was an upset. That's all it was.
Yeah, at all. So good. Plus $2 underdog for Kyle Nelson on the road in hostile territory, getting the win.
That crowd was lit. Yeah.
of the best crowds. And is one of the best and most profitable fight nights for the UFC and for ESPN. I thought the fucking poster was probably the sickest poster of the year. They had Spanish music playing, and you felt it. Even
the
in
mariachi band at the weigh-ins. Yeah,
oh my
everything.
God, like I loved it. It made the fight card feel kind of like a pay-per-view a little bit.
They need to do this every year, I think.
Yeah.
And
they said they're going to go up. They're going to go head to head with Canelo, anybody who wants to do it on September 16th. So I love it. You know who I do love? Lupi Godinez.
Oh, she's a tank.
She is a beast. The combination she was putting on Jersey's Alyssa Reed. I mean, Lupi Godinez, she switched her training camp from Canada. She trains with Alexa Grasso now, and it's proving to show that it was the right move to go down to Mexico. But man, what a performance by Lupi Godinez. What'd you think there? Performance of the night.
Yeah, honestly, and she landed every time she was throwing her combinations, they were landed on Elise Reed's head. And I had the joke, I just saw Elise Reed coming out on a lot of decision victories, and I had to think if she wound up winning this one somehow, I was going to put her as my profile picture, but it didn't happen. I still wish her well. She's a tremendous fighter, but I think Lupi Godinez is the real deal. That's what we got out of that.
100%. I can't wait for her next fight. She said she wants to turn it around in December, but we'll see if she could get a fight. I thought it was a great fight. Watch out in the middleweight division. Roman Kopylov is fucking coming.
Scary.
I'm telling you, anytime he touches you, you are going to feel. I felt bad for our American Josh Frem because Roman Kopylov just put him to sleep in the second round. Oh, my God. I think he's 1 or 2 fights away from entering the top 15. What'd you think of Roman Kopylov?
Yeah, absolutely. Like I said, scary man. He was putting it on Josh Frem. The joke, did Chase Hooper, gain some muscle, gain some weight? He go up to middleweight, or did he just travel to Russia? You know what I'm saying? Start learning some kickboxing and some wrestling. No, I love Chase Hooper, but man, Roman Kopylov, he's another one who looks like to be the real deal. Beautiful showcase in the prelims, and that just goes back to the fact for everyone. Watch the prelims at the end of the day. Just watch
100%. And next fight, my girl Tracy Cortez, a phenomenal display over Jasmine
Jazz Divisius.
Jazz Divisius, thank you. But yeah, 18-month layoff for Tracy Cortez, working with Henry Cejudo. She spent 7 months down in Brazil, and she really displayed her hands. I mean, and I thought her advantage was on the ground, but she really wanted to knock Jasmine out. I thought it was a great fight. She's still ranked, I think, 14th or 13th now in the flyweight division.
A lot. I was impressed by that performance.
100%. What did you think? What'd you think of the last fight between Charlie Campbell?
Dude, yeah, I mean,
it doesn't matter what you think.
That was fantastic.
I had to do that.
He did a great job, honestly. The thing is, I feel like he could add a little. Your timing right there was impeccable. He didn't have to repeat it to DC. I felt like DC took offense to it. I was like, yo, lighten up. That was like,
he did.
I was like, lighten up. That was good, man. And honestly, Jersey's own, man. The dude's problem. Yo, honestly, no, Alex Reyes, he hasn't fought in 6 years. That's a tough fight to come back to. Yeah. So, credit to him for stepping in. But Charlie Campbell, dude's explosive.
Longo MMA got another one, kid. I love it. And you know what I love? Not just his hands, because he knocked him out in 3 minutes into the first round. He took advantage of the time on the mic. He did everything you were supposed to in your debut. Got the 50K as well, and he 10-7 DC. I agree with you. I thought DC was kind of being petty, kind of was being sensitive. He was pulling a promo, bro. You actually were in WWE for a second, so you should know what's going on. But I thought he got the best promo. I thought he had the night going.
Promo of the night.
Yeah, 100%. But yeah, overall, Joe, an amazing card. I love Noche UFC. I hope they continue to do it until the wheels turn off, but not the best night. I went 1-1-1. So
interesting.
Yeah.
Just like the scorecards in the main event for UFC Noche.
Exactly. So we get the push in the main event. Co-main, I did lose. I took Kevin Holland, and then I did win with Tracy Cortez. So 1-1-1. How did you do?
Yeah, ebbs and flows of this game. For UFC, like it wasn't the best. I had 3-7-1. I had one of those push, but it looks like there was a lot of pushes because I went 0-2-1 for my 10 seconds left segment last week. And in Dana White Contender Series, 1-3-1. So I had pushes across the board all week. If there's one thing we can learn is that we need a draw option.
Yeah, it's like soccer. When you're betting on soccer, you could bet on the draw. So yeah,
That's right.
that would be very interesting to bet on the draw. So by the way, you mentioned Dana White Contender Series. Was there judging question marks in that as well?
Yeah, they could have, they marked the fight a draw. And as we like our global scorecard, that's what I mean about that. There is no option for the draw. So I'm gonna give them a shout out. Honestly, we've been following them forever and they've been following us. Verdict. At the end of the day, we're in agreement with the world. They saw how we saw it in the Valentina Shevchenko, Alexa Grasso fight, and in that, Dana White Contender Series fight. It shouldn't have been, but it was a draw. So we got to get to the bottom of this judging criteria.
100%. I'm glad you brought up Verdict because after the main event, I said, you know what? I like what Verdict does. I like how they implement everyone in the world who actually follows along in the MMA space. And they agreed with you and I. They scored it for Valentina as well. So but no one got a 10-8 round. No one scored it up. That's the problem. But
exactly.
Joe, before we get to UFC 79, quick word from our sponsor. Let me just crack open a Viva Tequila. We are brought to you by Viva Tequila Seltzer, the most refreshing hard seltzer on the market. Got it all over my pants, but there's no wonder why Viva was voted #1 hard seltzer in the world by San Francisco World Spirit Competition with only 88 calories, 0 carbs, 0 sugar, and a light 4.5 ABV. Viva is the perfect drink for your post-game celebrations as it was created with that active lifestyle in mind. We flavor tequila seltzer because flavor is the spice of life, and we like our drinks with just a kick, just like how we like our lives, whether it's Huckleberry playing around the golf with the boys or an elderberry watching UFC Vegas 79. It doesn't matter. Our favorites pair perfectly with the artisanal Blanca tequila for that subtle and refreshing drink. Our belief here at Axe Kick Picks and at Viva is to live long, live well, and live it up. Joe, I got it everywhere.
Fantastic.
Yeah,
there's only one way. Might as well crack them over your head.
Yeah, exactly. But let's get to it. Let's get to these plays. I will let you lead it off. It is back to normal time. 7 o'clock Eastern will be the main card. 4 o'clock on the East Coast will start in the prelims. And Joe, we will start in the prelims. What do you got?
Let's take it off. Yep. We got another Mexican returning fighter here, Montserrat Rendon, aka the Monster, taking on Tamrina Vidal. And she's a tough cookie. The Brazilian fighter is, but I got to take the bigger fighter. I know she's older in age, but she just looks to be in better shape. She looks to be the way taller and longer fighter. I'm going to take the dog here to start us up. I got Monster Rendon at plus 195. Dogs barking at the beginning of the show. Dogs barking at the beginning of UFC Vegas 79. Let's go. So that'll take us right into the next one. And a lot of people have high expectations for Mizuki Inoue, but she's taking on a tough competitor in Hannah Goldie. Hannah Goldie. Yeah, I mean, she brings the fight to her opponents. 6-3 record. Don't let that mistake you. She has some good wins with those 6 wins and some tough fights with the 3 losses. I like the dog in this spot. I think the hype's, not fair. I think we're looking away from Hannah Goldie and her ability to get this fight on the ground and grind out a victory. So I'm going to take another dog. And the dogs are always live in the women's fight. So Hannah Goldie, money line plus 255.
We got to get the soundbite of dogs barking.
That's right. So, hey, I'm hyped for those, honestly. We start off with 2 women's fights and both dogs. So let's get into the next one.
Did you hear what Jake Collier said?
Said, I know your brother can fight. It doesn't make you can. So, I mean, that's some fighting words, literally. And Muhammad Usman, I don't think he's going to take that lightly. I got a prop to start us up after those words. Give me Muhammad Usman via KO TKO at plus 400. He's knocking Jake Collier out.
Yeah, I do too. I think so.
Love that play. So let's go right into the next one. That was quick. We had it. After that, man, honestly, I'll be honest, there's a lot of fighters in the heavyweight division that could cut weight and be in a better place in other divisions. So I don't necessarily know the decision making and all that. I shouldn't, say anything. I know it ain't easy to stay away from food. So let's get into the next fight. Jacob Malkoun taking on the returning Cody Brundage, and Cody Brundage in his last outing did not look good at all. He did not want to be there. The dude basically quit in there. I can't back a guy with the outing that he had last time. I'm going to take Jacob Malkoun. He's had some impressive performances. Here's my play on the matter. I'm all over Jacob Malkoun. I'm going to take him inside the distance at plus 110, but I'm also going to hedge it and take him via decision at plus 135. Maybe lay a little more of your, juice on the inside the distance just so you can even it out. Mm-hmm. But if Cody Brundage winds up winning this, that means Jacob Malkoun didn't come to the fight. I don't see it. He normally does.
Love it.
All right. I think we're blowing through these, man. Let's get us right into the next one. Got a great fight. Legend, honestly. Veteran, Tim Means, Dirty Bird. You can never sleep on that man. He comes in, mean puncher, tall guy, taking on another mean puncher in Andre Fiallo. I've always seen Team Men's as a favorite in these fights, and it's hard for me not to back the guy. Like I said, he hides behind his jab well, and he's the jiu-jitsu black belt, so if he finds it on the ground, he can get submissions, but I just think he's a little older, and I feel like Fiallo can find his chin. Give me Fiallo on the money line at minus 165. I would lean to the via KO, TKO if you could find the odds on that for me. But something tells me that Tim Means, maybe he still has it and can find his way making it to the judges' scorecard. So that's why I wouldn't be surprised with that.
You said Tim Means via what?
I'm taking Andre Fiallo on the money line at minus 165, but don't be surprised if you get Andre Fiallo via KO, TKO.
And that is at plus 110.
Absolutely. See, it's kind of favored, but
yep.
Let's go into the featured bout of the prelims. And honestly, a personal favorite of mine, Miles Johns. You're not going to see me fading him in this spot against Dan Argueta. Tough outing in Dan's last out, but Miles Johns, he always comes to fight. I like everything about the guy, honestly. You're not going to find me fading him in this spot. I'm going to take Miles Johns, another dog here in the featured prelim at plus 154. I just think it's a safer bet. He could find a way out, getting him out of there via KO, TKO, or submission, or, wind up victorious on the judges' scorecards. Another play that I think I would actually lean to fight to go to distance. Both dudes are super tough and durable, but I just like my guy, Miles Johnson. You're getting good odds on him as a dog at plus
fight
150.
to go to this decision minus 138. It is favored to go to the scorecard.
I like that.
Taking a lot of dogs today, kid.
Yeah, not too bad. The ones that were heavily favored, I had to go and get you some prop value. So I did that in the prelims for you. But enough said about the prelims. Let's get into the main card here. Headlined by Rafael Fiziev and Mateusz Gamrot. All right, UFC Vegas 79. And I know you got something in this first fight to open us up. We saw him in Newark 288. Charles Air Jourdain. He's taking on Ricardo Ramos. Who do you got, Air or Katachina?
Yeah, Charles Air Jourdain, very active. Fought 3 times in 2021, 3 times in 2022. Now coming off a win we saw live against one of the Gracies. A lot of people aren't going to give him credit because of the way he fought, like it was 1990. But I like this fight for Air Jourdain. I think he has the striking. He does have a black belt. I know there's levels to it, but he does have a black belt. I think he's worked on his wrestling. That was the one issue and critique a lot of people had for him was his wrestling. But, Ricardo Ramos, he does like to fight, and I don't think he could take this fight to the ground. I think the X factor is the striking of Charles Jourdain. I think it should be a very close fight, probably goes to decision, but give me Charles Air Jourdain on the money line, minus 135. I can't go against my guy. So I
like the play, and it seems that we're on two different ends here. I can't fade Carcachina here, man. Honestly, I did last time outing. He proved me wrong very quickly. I think the dude's absolutely vicious. I think back in the day, if you recall, we had two different sides. We were head-to-head this last time, and you faded Ricardo Ramos, and I thought I would learn from that, but I didn't, and I faded him, and I lost. You faded him last time, and you lost. Remember the fight? Can you guess the fight?
Yeah.
What
No,
is
I
it?
Can't.
You take Bill Algeo over Ricardo Ramos, and I had Ricardo Ramos, and Ricardo won. So can't take Carcachina here. He's proved me wrong plenty of times and proved me right. Going to take him on the money line at plus 120. We're on different sides here, boy.
You're going to learn this time.
Hey, let's go into the next fight. And then, this is a great card because we got people we've seen live. did the crowd not go absolutely bonkers once Brian Battle got Gabe Green out of there?
What happened?
Yo, did
Not
you not? Didn't he blow the roof off the place here, Brian?
14 seconds.
Yo, honestly, I'm hyped for this one. AJ Fletcher's the ghost. He's no joke. You think he's a grinded out type of fighter, but I can't fade my boy here. Give me Brian Battle. I'm getting it off my chest early. I'll let you take it away. Pooh Bear minus 180. I think he can get it done any way he wants.
That's the one issue I have with him is his nickname. Pooh Bear gotta go.
He was like over 300 pounds. He was like a Khalil Roundtree, right?
I know that's why, and I heard the story on why he was, but I don't know. It just doesn't go. I think I don't know. We got to come up with a better name. We'll pitch it to Brian Battle next time we see him. But
all right,
you're right. I mean, Joe, we were there coming off that 14-second knockout live in Charlotte. Now
perfect
spinning
place,
it
his
forward
hometown.
Against Louisiana native AJ Fletcher, who's built like the fucking side of a shed. This guy's built like a fucking truck. But I actually like Brian Battle here to keep it rolling. I think he's the favorite for a reason. He's turned into a really solid fighter after Dana White Contender Series. He's staying disciplined. I think he could lead the dance. He's not getting taken down. I think he should win here. I don't like AJ Fletcher. He's cool, but he has like short dinosaur arms a little bit. I think the length is an issue for him. And the odd thing is
Artem Lobov vibes.
And the odd thing with him is he likes to stand and bang when he should be wrestling. So I don't know. I just don't think that's a good idea against Battle. Battle is sharp. He has good leg kicks. We might see a late finish, I think, as well. So
he's got the power.
I think he's gonna tire Fletcher out late in the rounds. Give me Battle inside the distance, and he also is one half of my parlay. What I'll finish later. So I got a 2-leg money line parlay. Brian Battle's my first leg.
I love it. I can't wait to hear that. So glad we're on the same side there. Let's go right into the featured bout of UFC Vegas 79. And Marina Rodriguez, she's taking on the karate hottie, Michelle Waterson Gomez. We all love Michelle Waterson. I think she's been a good face for MMA, women's mixed martial arts. She's promoted it well. She's a great fighter too. I think she's going to surprise a lot of people here. You look at Marina Rodriguez and you see her resume and what she's done recently. I think you're going to get some biases towards her, but you got to look at the age. She's older than Michelle Waterson. Give me the karate hottie based on age here. I think she's going to outstrike Marina Rodriguez. Don't be surprised if she winds up being dominant on the ground either. If she winds up getting it to the ground, she's a brown belt in jiu-jitsu. Marina Rodriguez is only a purple belt. I got karate hottie with a big upset, biggest dog in the card. Plus 255. Give me all the dogs in the women fight. Let's go.
Yeah, I love it. I mean, I stayed away from it, but I was looking at it. There's no way Michelle Waterson Gomez should be a plus 260. I'm seeing plus 260s out there. So, yeah, she is the biggest. Cody Brunage is the biggest guy, but yeah, biggest girl underdog. She is. Yeah, plus 260 on pure value. I think you have to take a flyer on karate hottie. So I'm with you there, kid.
Hey, thanks for that, man. And I want to see if you could do the math for me real quick. Didn't have this. I'm doing this live. The Monster Rendon play at plus 195. The Hannah Goldie play at plus 255. And the Karate Hottie play at plus 255. What's that parlay say?
All right, you're going to have to repeat it one more time. The Hannah Goldie, right?
I got two plus 255s. So both the Hannah Goldie and the Karate Hottie are plus 255 dogs. Yeah. And then the first fight is a plus 195. What's the odds on that?
And who's that? Who's that one? Plus 195.
Monster Rendon.
Monster Rendon. So all three together plus 3,654. $10 would get you 365.
I think it's worth it with the women's fights. They're almost practically a toss-up. The skill level isn't too disparately different. I think the dogs are live in all the women's fights, so it's worth it, and I think it's worth a shot. Maybe, you just sprinkle a little at leftovers, and you
might get some. Chick parlay.
Hey, how you doing?
Keep it moving.
Let's go right into the co-main event. And I'm hyped for this one. I'll be honest for you, because there's a reason why he's got his nickname 50K, right?
Yeah,
Dan Ige always gets the bonuses, baby. He's for the money. But he's facing a rapper from Arkansas, Doug Nasty. I mean, what?
He has bars. He has bars.
Arkansas, bro. He's living on the farm. I think he's recovered from his last fight. I honestly think he fought Ilya Tapura hurt. I'd be honest with you. Dan Ige always comes to fight. Hard for me to fade the guy. I think stylistically, Dan Ige doesn't get finished. This is a decision fight. I just fear that he gets taken advantage of on the ground a little bit. Hard for me to fade Bryce Mitchell, man. He's one of my favorite fighters. I'm going to take him via decision at minus 105.
Oh, my God. I'm actually very shocked that you did that because I was about to play the song. Here comes the money, 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 money. I mean, I just don't get the line at all, Joe. I love Bryce Mitchell. I love everything about him. Seems like a fucking fantastic guy. I just don't think he deserves to be the favorite. I honestly don't agree at all. Ige's won 2 in a row, and his team has a lot of momentum right now. Sean Strickland just fucking won the belt. Yeah. I mean, let's not forget, Bryce Mitchell, he's been injured. You know, he wasn't 100% against his only loss against Ilya Tapura, who's going to fight for the belt next. And let's be real, look at Bryce Mitchell's wins. Yeah, he has a win against Edson Barbosa, but other than that, not the best resume. And now he's dealing with some ex-girlfriend stuff out of the cage. His fucking fruit flies. Yeah, it's just he's distracted right now. And I think 50K is a straight savage. You know, his stance switches are just so clean. He's clean on his feet.
Boxing.
He just pieced up Nate the Train Landwehr. And I think Nate the Train is better than Bryce. Woo! So I get Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is cool. He's a cool dude to be around, easy to root for. But I just think Dan Ige is a much better fighter, and he has great takedown defense. I don't think Bryce Mitchell is going to be able to take him down as easy as everyone thinks. And I think the fight's going to stay on the feet. And if it stands on the feet, Dan Ige is going to piece him up. I don't understand the line. Give me 50K, baby, plus 170. I took him earlier in the week at plus 140. I'm loading up on him. That's my favorite play of the night.
And that's a fantastic play. And I do think you're wrong. I honestly was expecting this. I pick my plays before looking at odds. You know, I look at resumes. I look at their fight history and, you know, a little bit of heart and mind decision making. But I thought it was wrong. Ige should be favored in this. And I thought I was getting plus money and I didn't. And I was like, damn, this is going to suck.
Yeah.
So great play there, man. We're on 2 different ends. Let's go into the main event. Highly anticipated one. Ataman taking on Gamer. 2 great nick. I like these nicknames, not as like obscure and inventive, but man, it kind of defines who these guys are. And I'm gonna just get mine out, and I'm gonna hand it over to you. I gotta continue the train. I got away from it weeks prior, and that's why I've seen some regression. But I think we're back. I'm gonna continue off where we had with Sean O'Malley, the 2nd round KO TKO. And then we followed it with the Max Holloway 3rd round KO TKO. I honestly, after these performances, I know that Justin Gaethje may put a sour taste in your mouth, but I feel like the strikes are going to add up. I got Rafael Fiziev 4th round KO TKO at plus 2,000, and I will just take him on the money line. But give me those plus money right there. Plus 2,000, you got to love it. I'm trying to take us back.
Yeah, Rafael Fiziev, he's coming off that absolute war between him and Justin Gaethje. He was 7-0 in the UFC going into that fight. Now, obviously, 7-1. Gamrot coming off of that split decision victory over the Tarantula Jalen Turner. Dude, I fucking love this fight. I think this is such a good fight. I can't wait for it. It's one of my favorite divisions in the UFC, the lightweight division. But, you know, as for this fight, I can't wait. I agree. I gotta side with Rafael Fiziev here. I just don't think Gamrot, and I don't want this to come off the wrong way, I just don't think Gamrot has taken the steps to get better. I loved his fight between Arman Sarukian, but after that, I just haven't seen the major steps of improvement to crack the top 5, to crack the top 3. I think I might have overestimated him and his abilities after that Arman Sarukian. I think I kind of fell in love with the Polish guy a little bit, but like I said, I don't want this to sound like he's not a good fighter because he's a fantastic fighter. I just think
he's just kind of always been there.
Yeah, I just think striking wise, Fiziev, he's nowhere near Fiziev's level. And I just think this is a bad matchup for him on the feet. Fiziev is a killer and extremely tough to take down. And when you fight Justin Gaethje, I think you learn a lot about yourself and what you need to do to improve moving forward. And I think Fiziev took the time out. He reset himself, cut his hair. I love the cut, the haircut. And I think he's going to come into this fight hot, pressure. I think he's going to pressure Gamrot, tire him out. And I think he winds up picking him apart late in the fight. I just think this is a great line for Fiziev on the money line. I don't think we'll see him this short of a favorite in any of his fights. I got Rafael Fiziev on the money line, minus 150. It's up to minus 155 right now, but I just think it's a very, very short price. So I got to go with the favorite here. A little chalky, but I like him.
Not too bad. I'm glad we got it a little early, though, and we're on the same side in the main event. So, with the ones
2 weeks in a row, what could go wrong?
What could go wrong? But with the ones we're opposite, may the best man win, and I'm excited.
Yeah.
I think this fight card's going to say a lot. For a lot of fighters.
100%. So should move the lightweight division a little bit, but yeah, I can't wait for it. UFC Vegas 79 back at the Apex, first time in over a month. Like I said, prelims start at 4:00 on the East Coast. Main card starts at 7. So tune in, get your popcorn, get your Viva out, because we're gonna see some fucking fights, boys. But Joe, before we get to the news, let's talk about Johnny Eblen real quick. He is taking on
Fabian Edwards. Leon Edwards' brother.
Yep. So what do you got there? Got a little heated in the stare-off this morning.
Surprisingly, I didn't think there was bad blood leading up to this, but it could be maybe that Bellator is dissolving. I have no answers for that.
Yeah, real quick, I wanted to say Johnny Eblen, minus 500, plus 700 for Fabian Edwards. Big dog.
Big lines here, man. But that's what I think. I don't know whether or not they're worried about their job security and stuff like that. These two fighters, I'm sure if Bellator does fold, they'll get picked up by other organizations. I would think, though, that Bellator does get absolved by the PFL or something. I really think that's on the table. But like I said, there's been no breaking news what's going on. And I think you said it last time. They announced 301. So as we know, we're getting Bellator 301. Is that correct?
Yeah, 100%. There was reports this week that deals were off. But then Ariel Helwani came out and said that's not the case. That's fake news. Don't listen to that. It will be soon that they will purchase them. So we'll see. Should be very interesting.
That's
but
right.
Yeah, we'll break it.
Here, it's all speculation. But let's go. I got the only one fight in the prelims for Bellator 299 live in Dublin, Ireland. Ireland's own Brian Moore's taking on Otto Rodriguez. And, Otto Rodriguez in the past has made me money. I like him in this fight. I think he's a mismatch for Daniel Kelly. I know he's taking a trip across the pond, but give me Otto Rodriguez via KO TKO at plus 150. I think he puts his hands on this guy in this fight. Let's go into the main card, right into the main card, and an OG of the sport taking on who had taken on my professor. He was victorious in that matchup. Sabah Hamasi, he makes his return against Georgios Chokali. And I'm taking the dog, man. I really think that you got to respect the veterans and the OG of the sport. And in Bellator, we don't know the level of these up-and-coming fighters. So you got to prove me otherwise. I'm taking a dog, legend, OG, Sabah Hamasi, plus 200. Dog.
I love it.
Let's go into the fight I see after that. Mads Burnell is taking on another OG, Daniel Weichel. But Mads Burnell's an OG himself. He's been fighting since he was about 18 years old. So this dude, the Denmark guy, I like him. He is a submission guy. He's a $2 favorite. I'm going to play him as that straight up. I just think it's kind of his fight to lose. He can kind of do what he wants with Daniel Weichel. Daniel Weichel's more of a stand-up guy. But you find his fight to the ground, Mads Burnell can kind of do what he wants. Let's go skip the next fight and go right into what is the co-main event. And we all love seeing Aaron Pico taking on Pedro Carvalho. I got a surprise for you. He loves his overhand right, Aaron Pico. He loves knocking his opponents out. I'm going to go with this. Pedro Carvalho, I feel like he's susceptible to getting dropped, but staying alive. Pico may have no other option but to sink into submission. I'm going to take it. I'll take a chance on Aaron Pico submission here at plus 300. Trying to get you guys some value because you're not going to find him on the money line or even via KO TKO. Mm-hmm. So let's go into the main event and we'll end it. Bellator 299.
You want me to lead it off, kid?
And Fabian Edwards, take it away.
Yeah, everyone wants the big story. Is really anyone picking Fabian Edwards? Let's be honest, it might be a good story, but I just think this is a bad matchup for Fabian Edwards. Eblen's wrestling is elite. I think he's going to smother him, get him on the floor. And I just don't think Edwards, he's he's going to be comfortable on the feet or on the ground. I know Eblen, he's not the finisher. He just has 2 stoppages in his Bellator career. But, it's led him to a champion. He is a champion for a reason. I look for a lot of wrestling. I think he's going to wrestle the hell out of Fabian Edwards. And I think he's going to put him in a position and wear him out the whole fight. I got Johnny Eblen via decision at plus 100. I also like the fight to go to the decision at minus 140. I think that's good odds as well if you don't want to pick a side. But Johnny Eblen via decision at plus 100, I think trying to get it down from 700, at least we could get you even money. But that's what
that's funny how you have that play. We never talk about it. And that's exactly what I have. I got it at plus 105. Would you get it at the same thing?
No, even money, plus 100.
I had it at plus 105. I got a little bit earlier. It's Johnny Eblen via decision. I feel like he's going to grind him out. My only concern is if Fabian Edwards' tank doesn't hold up and he gasses out and winds up, just being exhausted in there and Johnny Eblen puts it on him and gets him out of there. That's my only concern. But for the most part, it makes me think that if it's standing, I feel like it's going to be kind of stalemated. And Johnny Eblen maybe not finding his way to submission makes me think that he just grinds him out and he gets to the judges' scorecards.
Real quick, I messed up. Inside the distance, Eblen is plus 100. Via decision is plus 105, just like you. So we can see that. I think actually we might be able to sprinkle half the unit on both because I do agree with Joe. If he doesn't,
how I had done earlier, I think it's a fair point you're making.
Because those elbows, once he gets him into mount, I think he's gonna fold Edwards eventually. Maybe not the first or second round. Yeah.
No. And then exactly like you said, it might be later in the fight. Maybe also some over rounds. I would think over 100%. Over 1.5 would probably be too favorited. But when you go over 2.5 and over 3.5, now you're getting some juicier odds.
Yeah. So even minus 2.5, minus 400, you got to go over 4.5 at minus 150. And even that's
that's
juicy.
Not worth it at all.
Yeah, so I think we're on the same side. I think we're on the right side as well, and still Johnny Eblen.
Eblen. Yeah, I'm one of the best pound-for-pound fighters on the planet.
100%.
That'll do it for Bellator 299 and UFC Vegas 79. We got it all out there for you guys.
Joe, good luck. Can't wait for these fights. They're going to be fucking exciting. Real quick, some news before 10 seconds left. We will start. Remember last week we mentioned Chris Duncan pairing up against Terrence McKinney. Chris Duncan is out of his fight against Terrence McKinney of UFC Vegas 81. So Terrence McKinney, hit him up, boys. He's waiting for a fight. Hopefully they get a fight there and he remains on the card. But we got bangers and bangers and bangers that were announced over the week. UFC 295 co-main event for the vacant light heavyweight title. The return of the samurai, Yuri Prohaska, taking on Alex Pereira. Woo! What a fight at the co-main event. I'm sorry, but early lean. Give me the samurai. What do you think of this fight?
And I got an early lean. I got opposite. I
know you do.
Yeah, I just think, Yuri Prohaska, the way he's going to win is going to have to be some awkward striking. But that doesn't bode well when you have a very traditional and orthodox striker, and he's very effective at it, and he's got a lot of power. I just get worried that, he tries to throw something weird, and he gets absolutely obliterated. I think Alex Pereira should be favorited.
He is. So do you want to guess the line real quick?
I want to go as far as a $2 dog. It's minus 135.
Minus 130 for Alex Pereira.
Minus 134?
No, minus 130.
130. Does that count? Did I do all right?
We can't give it to you, but you're close, kid. You're close.
All right.
Minus 130 for Alex Pereira, plus 110 for Yuri Prohaska. Right now, in that card, UFC 295 at MSG, John Jones, can you guess the line against Stipe?
Minus 325.
No, you're close. Minus 395.
Wow, I can't believe they almost put it $4. That's crazy.
I mean, they put him at plus money against Cyril Gahn. I put so much money on that.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm sorry, man. That's
odds. Don't you dare. Don't you dare. I will end this episode now. Don't you dare. He's immortalized forever.
You can't fold the goat. Yeah, you can't fade the goat.
Come Other fights that were announced: UFC 296 headline December 16th at the T-Mobile Arena. We finally have the fight we've all been waiting for in the welterweight division. Bang shot dead. Leon Edwards will defend his welterweight title against Colby Covington.
Oh my goodness,
Joe, I know.
wow,
you're a Colby guy. I know it, but you're not.
No.
Why not? Because it seems like you would
It's
be
not
a
the
Colby
antics
Covington.
and stuff like that, and I respect him for fighting at his natural weight. Absolutely.
I just don't think he deserves it.
That as well. Yeah, I don't think he's coming off that high of a win. Like something about the age that he's fought, the fighters that he has fought, the rankings that they've been. There's not.
Can I say
It's not adding up for me.
No.
That's the issue here.
So his last fights: Robbie Lawler, Hall of Famer, won, no longer in the UFC. Kamaru Usman, lost, broke his jaw. Tyron Woodley won, not in the UFC. Then he ran it back with Kamaru Usman, lost again. Then he beat Jorge Masvidal, not in the UFC, and then he lost the legal battle to Jorge Masvidal. So let's be honest, he has 3 wins over people that aren't in the UFC in the last 2.5, 3 years. When I don't want to be on my Bully B antics, but look at his last 5 wins: Damian Maia, Stephen Wonderboy Thompson, Vicente Luque, Sean Brady, Gilbert Burns. I know he was playing the heel at Newark, but you can't even compare the two.
No, you can't even compare. And I'm just joking with you, trying to bust your chops and everything. No, Bilal Muhammad deserves a title shot. It's not Colby Covington. Let's be real about this. I don't know what the vendetta is. Maybe the decision fights, but they've been dominant for Bilal. Like you talked about Colby, I don't think he necessarily deserves it. He's gonna be a draw. That's probably the issue here.
Yeah,
I'm favoring Leon. Honestly, I do like. If I were to say who do I like more, I would actually like Leon more than I would like Colby. I don't know. People say he's inactive, but Colby's just as equally inactive. So I'm going to favor
100%
Leon Edwards' striking capabilities over Colby. I think he does have some good striking, but it comes with the ability to utilize his takedowns. And without that, he's getting pieced up. So Leon should do that to him. I'll be completely honest. This is probably just a notch on the belt. I think the UFC may be trying to lay it up for Leon to defend it. I mean, they'd be happy if Colby winds up winning. They'd be fine with that. But this could absolutely just be a layup for Leon Edwards. I'd say another head kick knockout.
I would love that. That would make my day. Whose line is it anyway? Guess the line. Who's favorite?
Pick 'em.
No.
Then Colby's favorite.
Leon Edwards minus 135 plus 115 for Colby Covington. I think that's correct. I think that's correct.
Yeah, but just making me think that if Colby got the shot, that Vegas want to put him as the favorite just because they're gonna, wind up winning somehow. Vegas always wins. The house always wins.
That house always wins. Co-main event for UFC 296. We'll run it back with Alexander Pantoja defending his flyweight title against Brandon Royval. They will run it back. I can't wait for this fight. This is gonna be a banger. What are your thoughts here?
Man, early lean. You know how I love Alexander Pantoja now.
Whose line it is anyway? Guess.
That's a pick'em. All right, I was early with the pick'em. This has got to be. Come on, man. These are pick'em fights. All right, so then
you should be an odds maker. Just go to Vegas.
No, but I think they're probably going to favor Pantoja by a lot.
Yeah, minus 225. Alexander Pantoja.
Give me Brandon Royval. He's winning this fight.
Plus 205.
Yeah, that line. I love that. I'm so happy that's the case. Give me Brandon Royval. It's a bad matchup. I'll be honest with you. Like I said, how I love Alexander Pantoja, but he's going to wind up losing, and he's going to have to fight Manel Kape for a title eliminator. Because I think maybe you get Brandon Moreno back in there or something. It's interesting, that flyweight division, man. I don't know. Muhammad Makayev is up and coming. Dude, I like the flyweights, man.
100%. So it should be, very, very interesting. I love it. But UFC 300, guess who entered back in the UFC roster? Welcome back, Paul Felder, the Irish Dragon, baby.
I love
He's
it.
back looking
Legend.
for a fight for UFC 300. You got to put the Irish Dragon. I knew you didn't retire, Paulie.
Hey, you know, I gotta say, I think I know you may want to have both of them get a win, but I think it's storybook to have Paul Felder fight Jim Miller at UFC 300.
That would be we're like sinking. We're like 400 miles apart, but we're sinking because I was gonna ask you if you pair him up with Jim fucking Miller.
Yep, UFC 300.
You have
That's
to,
a dream, bro. That's a dream for us as fans, and I'll be honest, for them as fighters.
Yeah. So very, very interesting. The fights that were announced. By the way, like I said, there were a lot of fights, not a lot, but there were a few fights that were announced about literally 5-7 minutes before we went live. Stephen Wonderboy Thompson and Shavkat Rakhmonov, UFC 296 in December. I can't wait. Guess whose line is it? What do you think the odds are?
Shavkat Rakhmonov, $5 favorite.
No. He's minus 300 plus 250 for Stephen Wonderboy. That's a pure value play where I got to take Stephen Wonderboy.
Yeah, straight up. Yeah, honestly, that's my boy. You ain't going to see me fade him either.
No, so yeah, we got that one. Steamroll for Vola, key the fucking trumpets, baby. He's going to Madison Square Garden, taking on quick turnaround for Benet Saint Denis. The Frenchman,
been active.
Very active, and I like it. I'm looking for odds. They don't.
Whose line is it anyway? I don't think they have it posted. I would think that Benoit Saint Denis be favored, to be honest.
Ooh, really?
Yes.
I think that's a pick.
That should be a pick 'em, yes, and that's a recency bias. The only reason you haven't seen it as late, you've seen Benoit Saint Denis, so it's probably a recency thing.
But yeah, big fight there for Madison Square Garden, and another fight.
Ooh.
New England Mafia, Rob fought, baby. We'll take on Davison Figueiredo, headlining a fight night in December.
Oh, that's a
December
sick fight.
2nd.
That is a sick fight, bro. Because I wonder how Figueiredo's going to do not cutting all that weight.
Mm-hmm.
And we know our boy Rob Font, how he comes.
Oh, my God. Just announced 1 minute ago, the Killer Gorilla, Jared Cannonier, will take on Roman Dolidze at UFC December 2nd, the co-main event of that Rob Font.
No, he saved that. Yeah, he saved that. He saved that because, what was it that pulled out for Roman? Well, he got released, Derek Brunson, from the UFC altogether. Yeah. So, respect
instead of going on that the November card, they gave Cannonier. He did make weight. He did get paid. Flew him out to Sydney, made weight for the backup. But I mean, if I'm Jared Cannonier, one, I don't know if I would have accepted this because why am I fighting back? I have a win head up to with the champ. Why am I fighting back? Unless the UFC says you win this fight, you're next.
That's what they're doing. I feel like they're pulling chains, manipulating fighters, and holding them hostage with their contracts. They can do what they want. So you just sign that down the line.
I mean, this December 2nd fight night, you got the main event, Davison Figueiredo taking on Rob Font in the co-main Gorilla. Oh, my God. Talk about a fight night. Jesus Christ. But, Joe, those were all the fights that were, happy holidays from the UFC. Joe, we got 10 seconds left. We've been going over an hour. What do you got left, kid?
Hey, great show. Massive show for y'all. 10 seconds left. We got Risen 44 as well, taking place in Japan. And we got the return of Todd Duffy taking on Tsuyoshi Sudaro. I got the ex-sumo wrestler with all victories coming via KO, TKO. Todd Duffy's got a glass chin. Give me the favorite here. Sudaro minus 350. Spike Carlisle, he's found a new home at Risen. He's just finishing fighters left and right. I got him minus 275. I think he's going to be victorious against Yoshinori Hori. In the next fight, which is the co-main event, Juntaro Yushiku is taking on Hajiwara. And, man, I think I'm going to take the favorite as well. Juntaro, minus 200. I think he's a more spectacular fighter. And then in the main event, surprising last second, we got Kleber Koki Herbs taking on Masanori Kanehara. And, yeah, he's a legend of the sport, but give me the jiu-jitsu specialist. I know in his last outing he got, taken advantage of by one of the Pitbull brothers, but give me Herbst here, another favorite, minus 400, 4-leg parlay, all those favorites, plus 230. That's my place for you guys.
I love it, Joe. Good luck. You'll put your plays out on Twitter for Dana White Contender Series this week.
Sir.
Joe, good luck. Let's have another bounce back week for the show. That is going to do it for this Friday edition of Axe Kick Picks. On behalf of our sponsor, Viva Tequila, Joey, myself, we'll see you guys next week. No picks, but we'll recap. We'll discuss any news that breaks. So come back, follow along our social media, X and Instagram at Axe Kick Picks. We go live every Friday around 5 o'clock, 5:15, depending on the time. YouTube.com/Axe Kick Picks Live. You can find all of our podcasts wherever you listen to podcasts on the audio side, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Stitcher, all that good stuff. So subscribe, rate, give us a review. It literally takes 5 seconds. All that good stuff really helps the show grow tremendously. So be a friend, tell a friend. Everyone, good luck on your wagers this weekend. Be safe, be well, and we'll see you guys next week. Peace!